If there was ever a poster child for Trump derangement syndrome, this fucking ass clown would be it. So Jimmy Kimmel and wife mislead their kids by telling them Trump was behind ABC suspension. Now, he's not wrong. You're like, what? John, have you gone to their side? No, 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 no. Hear me out. It is Trump's fault because this fucking ass clown for the last 10 years has done nothing but whine about Donald Trump, which has caused viewers to tune out, which has caused ratings to go down, which has caused the company to lose millions upon millions of dollars. So yes, it is indeed Trump's fault, but not in the sense that most people would think. We also have a video clip showing, them actually saying that this is what they told their fucking kids. Again, poster child for fucking TDS. This dude is such a huge fucking faggot that he's like, yeah, children, Donald Trump was the reason that I got suspended from the... How's it even remotely Donald Trump's fault? Not everything in this world is fucking Donald Trump's fault, people. Get your heads out of your fucking asses and just admit that maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it's the fact that you were losing the company money, millions upon millions of dollars a year, because you don't know how to talk about anything else apart from Donald Trump. Every night, the same monologue. So, Donald Trump, and everyone's like, hey. It turns out Jimmy Kimmel doesn't just spread misinformation on the air, but also misleads his own kids. When you think things can't get any stranger in late night television, Jimmy Kimmel and his wife Molly McNeary have managed to top themselves. In a recent episode of the We Can Do Hard Things podcast, Jimmy Kimmel and McNeary admitted that they told their kids President Trump was responsible for Kimmel's recent suspension from Jimmy Kimmel Live.
So they seemed like it was going to be good. And it occurred to me, oh boy, this is not going to be good. And Jimmy let them know. He said, my show has been suspended. And our daughter immediately burst into tears. Oh. And she said, I'll sell my Labubu's. And we told her, yeah, you should. No, we did not. We told her, no, you don't need to do that. You don't need to sell Labubu's. And our son asked if the president had done this.
First off, why would a child ask if the president was responsible? How terrified of the fucking president do these people have their kids? That the first thing, is this the president's fault?
And we looked at each other and we didn't quite know how to answer that question.
I think I said yes.
We did. We actually both said yes at the exact same time. We said yes, he did. And it's weird, because you don't want your kids to...
It's certainly not an experience I had with my parents.
So they tell their kids that it's President Trump's fault that his show got suspended. Faggot. It's a shocking admission, but not only because it's untrue, but because it reveals how far the late night hosts and their family have gone in politicizing even their private lives. And the story doesn't stop there. Misinformation at home, according to Newsbuster, which transcribed the interview. McNeary explained how the conversation unfolded at home. We just read this, the selling Labubus. That's right. Jimmy Kimmel and his wife flat out told their young kids that the president of the United States personally had their father's talk show suspended. This president, is there anything he can't do? I mean, everything from natural disasters to getting this dude suspended. Everything is somehow related to this guy. This man is the most powerful person in the fucking universe. It's incredible. The problem here is, of course, that there's no universe where this is even a little true. ABC, not the White House, suspended Kimmel after his own misleading comments. Misleading comments sparked massive backlash. During a monologue in September, Kimmel falsely claimed that the MAGA gang was trying to characterized the kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. I mean, it was proven he wasn't one of them. The statement was also quickly condemned as misinformation. There was no evidence connecting the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk to the MAGA gang, as Kimmel described. In fact, there was more evidence at the time connecting him to extreme left-wing ideology and Antifa. It was blatant misinformation, with conservative pundits like Megyn Kelly going as far as to claim it was willful disinformation. Yeah, between that and again, this dude has gone out there every day for the past 10 years and complained about Donald Trump. And I have to keep telling people this because I don't think people fully understand how insane this is. 4 years of those 10 years, Joe Biden was in charge. And this ass clown still came out and complained about Donald Trump every single night. The guy wasn't even in charge. He wasn't in the government at all. And yet this fucking flamer over here bitched and complained and whined about him every fucking night. Wrap your minds around that. The man wasn't even in charge. Joe Biden was in charge, and yet this man still somehow found a way to come out every night and somehow found a way to complain about Donald J. Trump or people connected to him every fucking night. That loses the company millions of dollars because people are tuning out. They're not making that revenue. And yet, here he is, still doing the same shit that got him suspended in the first place, with the fucking misinformation and the whining about Trump. Does this dude not care that he's losing the company millions upon millions? Like fucking Stephen Colbert, he was losing the company, what, $40 million a year? This dude is losing the, like Disney and all that just as much. And yet he still goes out and like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep doing the thing that lost money in the first place. The claim was reckless enough that the ABC affiliates and internal executives reportedly demanded action. The network responded by sidelining its star until outrage subsided. That's the real reason for the suspension, not an act of presidential vengeance. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Donald Trump. I am Big Mac Man. Yet rather than own up to the situation, Kimmel and McNeary spun a political fairy tale for the children. It's difficult to overstate how bizarre this choice was. Instead of explaining that Daddy had crossed the line on live television and made a mistake that could be learned from, they invoked President Trump as the villain in the bedtime story of their own making. It's the same reflex we've seen from much of the Hollywood in recent years. When something goes wrong, just blame Trump. Yeah. Again, this man is the most powerful being in the fucking... Like, Frieza would fucking bow down to this dude. Like, he'd be like, my own skills pale in comparison to this guy. Of course, Frieza probably wouldn't do it willingly. You know, he probably, you know, sneer and... But no. Like, this dude would make Frieza look like a joke. Because there seems to be nothing that Trump can't do at this point, it seems. Kimmel's long career of partisan tirades makes the lie even harder to swallow. Over the year, I was gonna add in a dick joke, but I didn't want to be, insensitive. Over the years, he's turned his ABC platform into a nightly sermon against conservatives, Christians, and anyone who doesn't share his politics. But this moment, telling his kids that a sitting president had personally punished him, pushed the boundaries even for Jimmy Kimmel because he's a stupid fucking faggot. I mean, why? It wasn't satire. It wasn't a joke. It was deliberate distortion, shared publicly and without a hint of regret. Yes, I know it's regret. I say regret. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, ABC remains silent on the matter. The network that once prided itself on journalistic standards now appears content letting one of its highest paid talents rewrite the story of his own misconduct. Why would they care? They're all just like him. For viewers, the lesson is clear. When you live in a bubble of a partisan celebrity, truth becomes optional, even at home. The same host who lectures Americans about misinformation can't tell his own children the truth about why he sat home for a week. Not to mention, this dude hosted The Man Show, which did everything he claims to be against. And why am I going out of focus here? Hi. Yeah, you guys remember The Man Show? I mean, objectifying women, girls bouncing on trampolines, blackface. And yet he likes to think he's some arbiter of morals and progressive views. And no, he's a fucking faggot. And I really don't feel like having to play the South Park clip. We're not talking about gay people here. We're talking about people like him who go around ruining everyone's good time. At the end of the day, Jimmy Kimmel didn't need a political scapegoat for his kids. They needed a father willing to take responsibility. I'm sure he thinks of all these excuses while he's sitting in the cuck chair. Instead, they got another performance, one where the villain was President Trump and the hero was Dad. Nice to see he has the same integrity at home that he does on air. Scumbag got the okay from his scumbag husband, but in a horrible existence to try to satisfy you and go by. Okay, that really didn't make a lot of sense when I read it. Okay, but yeah. This dude's a fucking scumbag. He is. Complete fucking shithead. This dude has been whining about Donald Trump for 10 years. 4 of those years, Joe Biden was involved with the government. Instead, he was the president. Still whined. And his own personal actions made ABC say, you know what, we're going to suspend you. And this fucking faggot over here was like, yes, it was Donald Trump's fault. Like, Donald Trump called ABC and like, ABC, I've been watching Jimmy Kimmel every night. And for that, why am I holding? Actually, no, it'd be probably the, like the speakerphone one. He just presses the button and he just sits there like this. And he just kind of can move. But I've been watching Jimmy Kimmel every night. And he said some terrible, terrible things about me, misinformation. And I want you to suspend him. If you don't suspend him, bad things will happen. Very, very terrible bad things. For you, it will be a series of unfortunate events. You should make a series like that. Maybe a book series or maybe some movies. Maybe a Netflix series. Series of unfortunate events. But I want you to shut him down. Do it now. And they're like, yes, Mr. Trump. Like, does he think that's what happened? That Trump just called ABC and just said, shut him down. And they just no, that's not how it fucking works. You fucking stupid ass. Come on, Kimmel. You're supposed to be college educated, but instead you're making yourself look like a fucking retard. That's not how it works, and you goddamn know damn good and well. So why are you raising your kids to be terrified of Trump when you know goddamn well that it wasn't his fault that your crappy ass fucking show was suspended for a week? How about you just admit, yeah, Daddy said some things on air that he probably shouldn't have. And how about instilling morals into your kids? Like, acknowledging that you made a mistake and apologizing for it. Instead, you're just teaching them, well, when something doesn't go your way or when something happens to you and, just blame someone else. Just blame someone else. If you're going through your life and you know, your grades aren't as good, or you don't get that promotion you want, or just blame Donald Trump. Just blame Trump. And the fact that his wife goes along with it and agrees, these kids are fucking doomed. These kids are gonna grow up to be fucking stupid. I hope they grow up like the Smiths. You know, fucking Jaden, how fucked up he is. I hope they grow up just like that. But yeah, Kimmel is like, it's Donald Trump's fault. Faggot. But again, poster child for TDS. Fucking poster child. Anyway. Donald Trump hurt my fake vagina. I suppose it's Donald Trump's fault that you're sitting in a cuck chair watching your wife get reamed by other dudes, right? Is that Donald Trump's fault too? Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.